If you're like me, you hate using a tripod, a big hassle, and I feel like I lose a lot of creative aspects when I'm using a tripod, and that's why I love using something like this. This is a Canon 100-500 lens, very versatile, and I feel like I could just come over here and photograph these trumpeter swans and get low if I want to and feel pretty good. I think in photography you can shoot as low as 1/50th of a shutter, and as long as the animal isn't moving too fast, you should be able to get a smooth shot without your lens being shaky. The way everything has been going in social media these days, photography is kind of dying, and don't get me wrong, I'll never stop becoming a photographer. I love photography, but with Instagram Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, videos have become the top priority for a lot of people. Photography gives you a chance to capture a moment in time. Videos can capture several moments. It can get shots that you couldn't get with photography because sometimes things happen so fast, and if you were already recording, you got to see it. These guys, if you can hear them, are giving me a little audience here. I feel like I'm at a college football game or something. Hey, what's up guys? I'm Kris Luckenbach. I'm a photographer here in beautiful Kodiak, Alaska. My goal is to not only show you the beautiful Kodiak Island, but I also want to share some of my photography tips that I've learned along the way, things that I'm still learning, and I hope that it inspires you to get out and chase your dreams as well. That being said, let's get on with the video. If you stay to the end of this video, I'll give you a bonus tip that I include on all of my videos that I've posted, whether it was handheld or 120 FPS or 60 FPS, something I always do. So stick to the end for that. So I'm gonna give you 3 tips for stable footage here with handheld videos on your camera, especially for a setup that you feel comfortable hand holding. This is the 100-500 lens by Canon. I've rented the 2.8, and honestly I can handheld that for a few hours and feel okay. So looking at my videos for the past few years, there's one thing that really bothers me. I've had to delete videos because the videos were just too shaky. That is just something I wanted to improve without using a tripod, because I truly hate using a tripod. Carrying one of those things is just not worth it to me. I found a couple solutions. One is something that a lot of cameras are capable of in 2023, and that's just hand holding like you usually do, but using 4K 120 FPS. That is essentially 4 times slow motion. When time is slowed down, you have less of a chance to see your flaws, such as shaky footage. I like to include something else, and that's just having something in my body part to stabilize the footage. So I'll sit down like this a lot for my photography. The slow motion really gives you a chance to just go ahead and just reduce some of those shakiness that you have just throughout your body and whatnot. If your camera can do 60 FPS without doing 120 FPS, you can slow that down in post-production in a software like Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, or Final Cut Pro, and just do 50% slow motion or twice as slow. I like to also, if I'm standing up, really tuck my shoulders in, my elbows in, and just forcefully push that camera into my body. Or if I have it up to my eye, I kind of just force some pressure from my forehead and my eye into the camera. Just anything to slowly get a more stable shot. So tip number 2 is kind of what I was just saying about using your body, but also use the environment around you. Sometimes it's good to just kind of lay down prone. I got a really stiff upper back, so a lot of times I'll just lay on my side like this, and I will just shoot some videos and photos like this here. So when you get to lay down on your side, if you are flexible enough, you can just kind of prone out and just use the camera against the ground or something. If you're not into low angle shots, another thing I like to do is if I'm walking in a forest or something and I got some bears in front of me, I like to just, there we go, lean like this. Just kind of lean your body, lean your camera into the tree. This happens to be a telephone pole, but anything you could do with an external environment will really help stabilize some footage that you get. we get to the last section here on tip number 3, it's not a tripod by the way, I'm just gonna show you one thing that I really like, and that is a sling. I thought that a neck strap had to be worn like this. Check this out. This is how most people would imagine a neck strap is kind of hung around your neck. But if you wear like a shoulder bag or sling under your armpit here, and you could just bring it up, it stays against your chest and your waist really good. It's great for hiking in the woods. I really enjoy a neck strap used like a sling underarm here. Works great. I love it. All right, and this is number 3. This is not a tripod. This is a monopod made by iFootage. It's an iFootage Cobra 2. As I bought it, the 3 came out. I don't know why that always happens with me, but anyway, this thing is got a tripod base, but it's super duper light. I say it's not a tripod because I wouldn't use it like a tripod. I would never just leave my camera on here. But what I will do is this. I'm going to, let's take this off my neck here. We'll just attach this here. Now, like I said, I would not use it like a tripod because look, it's probably gonna tip over. This is not level ground here. I'm just gonna pretend I'm shooting handheld because I can look up, I'll pick up the whole thing. It's still very light. As you can see, I'm picking it up. I'm looking, no problem if something was above me. But when I get to a situation where these guys are right in front of me and I don't want to use slow motion, I just want to capture some footage. Well, now it's like a mini tripod without being cumbersome like those heavy tripods that are made for bigger lenses. Now just pretending I'm handheld, it's like leaning into a branch, it's like leaning into your arm. So if I want to put my camera down for something, I will just lay everything down on the ground and do what I need to do. I really love Instagram Reels. I love posting my wildlife footage into it, and I have so many clips that are just ruined because even though I shot in 4K 120 FPS handheld, I didn't hold on to something. I didn't tuck it in. I just kind of pan the camera and hope for the best. This is going to be new for me this year. This is my very first time owning one of these monopods, and I'm going to just see if it works out for me, and maybe I'll make a future review on it. Another great thing with this monopod is it is just one of these lever action here, and I can lower it and get pretty low to the ground. You know, this is 30 FPS, guys, and it just feels pretty good. If you're in an open field, you don't have a tree branch to hold on to, you don't want to lay down with your hurt back, well, the monopod will come in handy. So as promised, guys, I told you if you stay to the end, I'll give you a bonus tip. And this is a tip that I've done with every single video, whether it was somewhat stabilized on a monopod like this or handheld. Use your video editing program of choice to stabilize your footage in post-production. So in Premiere Pro, it's just called warp stabilization. And honestly, I think Premiere Pro's is probably the worst. I think Final Cuts and DaVinci Resolve's stabilization is just a little bit better, but it definitely helps most of the time. If you have a problem where in Premiere Pro it looks too warpy and jiggly and jello-y, just lower the stabilization down from 20% down to 1 or 2%, and it actually helps quite a bit. So in this video, we covered a few tips to help stabilize your videos for your Instagram Reels and YouTube videos, whatever you want to use them for, and shoot in 120 FPS. 4K helps. You can always crop in if you need to. Use your body, use environments, use anything to help you and the camera hold still. If you have none of those things around, open field, this monopod can really come in handy. And it is your own personal tree you could carry around with. It's pretty lightweight too. Look at that, one hand, feels good. You can also stabilize your footage in post-production if all else fails. I even like to do it for regular footage. Anyway, well, that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you watching. If you want to watch my video covering the Canon 400 f2.8, this thing is like this big compared to this lens. Really fun video if you want to check that out right here. That's all I got for you guys. Have a good day, and good luck shooting.